Well, the preseason hype is over, and it's time to tee it up. The Bulldogs begin what they hope will be another college football playoff run. The Falcons' goal is to earn a trip back home. Quarterback questions and playoff prognostications abound all over. It's time for the fastest 30 minutes on TV, football's play to win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Georgia Lottery and McDonald's. Welcome to football's play to win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, play to win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq El Amin, Falcons All-Pro running back Jamal Anderson, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
We are back, which means football is back, reunited, and it feels so good with my boys, Bob Whitfield, Jamal Anderson, Chuck Smith, and of course, it's good to see you too, Jeffrey the Edge Schechter. He's in Vegas at a yoga retreat, getting all those picks right for the season. What's everybody been up to?
Woo, Nikki, it's been exciting leading up to this preseason. I have been waiting for this moment just to tell you guys about what I see in the Falcons and the Dogs and the Jackets and all that.
Yes.
I have just been studying all preseason, waiting for this show to start.
Exactly.
Stanford.
Get that little shake and everything.
What are you guys going to follow that up with?
I don't know. I mean, I just came back from LA. I spent about a month in Hollywood. Look out, Dwayne Johnson. The Dirty Bird is coming.
Calm them down.
Anyway, I know, and I'm also thrilled that the Utes are already 1-0 to start the season. So I'm excited for football.
I've been training, same old training athletes, and just trying to get them ready to teach them pass rush. That's pretty much it.
Oh, humble Chuck. Well, you know what? Our Atlanta Falcons have got a lot of expectations on them this season. Super Bowl coming right back here to Atlanta. It's been 20 years. You guys are no stranger to how this feels. How do you deal with all those expectations in the preseason leading up to the Super Bowl?
20 years, wow, it's a long time.
Y'all old.
Yeah, we are.
I guess it's bowl or bust for the Falcons. It's bowl or bust. It's one of those things that if they don't do well this year, people are going to start questioning certain pieces of the puzzle for those guys. So it's bowl or bust. But I think they have a good chance at least getting to the playoffs.
Listen, there's no, unless something dramatic happens, this team is built for a playoff run. This is what this team has done the past couple of years. These are the expectations. Of course, the Super Bowl's here in Atlanta, and with the team that the Falcons have and with the young defense continuing to get better, I'm excited about that defense. I know what we have in the offensive weapons.
Let's take a look at some of these odds. I mean, we've got 6 NFC teams ahead of the Falcons here.
As far as the teams are concerned, the best teams are going to win on Sunday. So I just think the Falcons are in a good position because no one really knows. I think they're in good shape, though.
There's no question that the NFC is a very, very tough conference this year, and there are going to be battles week in and week out every Sunday.
Well, would we say now, finally, that Georgia, our Dogs, are a national team?
You probably would, because that's
Of course I would. That's my alma mater.
I mean, they've been fresh and famous. You know, back since the days of Herschel Walker's, everybody's been
what?
fresh and famous. The Dogs have always started off within the top 20, and then they fizzled out. So I think what you have now is that the Dogs get respect because they got a great quarterback.
I just think Georgia's in a good position, and the top two teams, the top teams in America right now in college football, you got to play defense, and that's what the Dogs do.
Switching gears to Tech, always a tough team to predict anything for. They're a little quiet, flying under the radar. Look at this schedule. South Florida, Clemson,
Schedule is brutal.
Louisville.
It looks like a spoiler schedule, and what you get with Georgia Tech is a spoiler type of team because they run that triple option thing that most teams do not prepare a long time for. So Georgia Tech can always put some numbers on Clemson, can always put some numbers on Georgia.
They got to stop some people. The defense last year, they were challenged, gave up a lot of explosive plays.
Yeah.
Just got to play some defense.
You know what? Nate Woody, new defensive coordinator of Georgia Tech. There's a lot of excitement about him.
Right.
Will he have time? Listen, this is Paul Johnson's 11th year. Only twice did he not go to bowl games. He's returning 9 offensive starters. This is a big year for Marshall.
Well, who should be taking the snaps at Bama? We'll have the answer to that coming up. And who are our sleepers in the SEC? Don't miss a second. Football's Play to Win. We'll be right back.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith. Or this John Smith. Or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. El-Amin and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
We're expanding our vegetable menu. Looking for a lifestyle change or just trying to eat a little bit better? Well, This Is It is here to serve. Vegetables include fresh broccoli, squash, greens, cabbage, green beans, and so many more vegetables. Every Tuesday is now Healthy Tuesdays. Buy a 4-veggie plate and get a 3-veggie plate absolutely free. That's right, a free vegetable plate. Everybody eat more veggies.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by Nissan.
Welcome back. What is going on down in Tuscaloosa? We've got a co-starter situation when it comes to the quarterbacks at Alabama. You guys have been on teams. Is that weird? Co-starter.
It is kind of weird. I think it's the tale of two halves. You know, you got Jalen Hurts, who was a favorite of the team, who was a favorite of Bama, but he didn't deliver in a big game. And then Tua comes in the second half and he delivers. So what do you do as a Nick Saban, as a coach? Tell her, hey, we're playing both. They both can deliver for us.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Jalen Hurts is his leadership and what he's been about. And we really, for the first time, heard him be critical of some of the things that are going on there, but he's clearly performed well enough thus far to stay in this battle. But you're right. Who won the national championship last year? But, again, Jalen Hurts has been a fantastic leader, and his record at Alabama speaks for itself.
I'm focused on now. I'm focused on that first game against Louisville. Whoever plays the best in that game, we'll see what happens in game 2. Whoever plays the best in game 2, we'll see what happens in game 3. Because what I'm looking at is how they're going to progress during the season. So what I end up doing is whoever does, makes the most plays and whoever controls the offense and does what we need to do to win a championship, they become my starter. And other guys got to sit down.
And that's Chuck's algorithm. What about sleepers in the SEC? I want to hear everybody's sleepers.
Well, I got a big one. It's Mississippi State. Everybody's going to look
right.
at those
I'm
guys.
half asleep.
You're half asleep. You'll be snoozing on those kids. Nick Fitzgerald, he's out. He's suspended for the first game, but you got Keith Thompson in at quarterback. He made his first start last year in the bowl game, and he won it against Louisville. And they got some good offensive linemen over there. Deion Calhoun's a big anchor in that center. So I like what they're doing, and they return a running back in Eris Williams. So Mississippi State is my sleeper. They'll wake you up this year.
Dropping some knowledge.
I don't know that, there's necessarily a sweeper, but I'm going to jump to the other side of the division, and I'm going to go with Missouri. They have a brutal opening schedule. Mm-hmm. If they could stay in any of those games, and Josh Heupel's over there now, if they can be competitive and maybe win one of those games, the latter part of their schedule is going to be a lot more helpful to them. So maybe they come out as the sleeper.
Missouri.
Well, speaking of sleeper,
State.
I'm going with Tennessee.
You don't say.
Wake me up when you finish.
You're right. And we've been sleeping for a long time, so hopefully Coach Pruitt will wake us up.
Yes.
So anyway.
You got a quarterback controversy there with 2 quarterbacks.
You're
we don't know
exactly
who's gonna
right.
play.
So we're sleeping and hopefully
Y'all
we'll
been
wake up.
sleeping for so long, it's Tennessee.
There you go. That was a good one.
Well, you know who took a nap in the ACC is Florida State. I think it's fair to say now Clemson is the new Florida State in the ACC. So my question to you is, are we writing off FSU too early?
Clemson with Dabo Swinney, it's on another level. I'm telling you, because their defense, their offense, and they're getting the best players from around the country. I don't think it's even a comparison right now, Florida State.
How about Rick?
Can Rick handle those boys, keep them solid, keep them in the game, keep them in the program?
What's he missing?
strong arm, according Chuck told me, it's a strong arm where you got to get your talented guys in line and get them doing the things they're supposed to do.
Let me jump back to FSU because I feel like Willie Taggart has recruited fantastically since he's been there. He's re-energized the program. Deandre Francois is a game changer as a player. They have a stud running back. They have a stud running back as well. And I feel like Willie Taggart's got the program moving in the right direction. And not just that, these guys are fired up to play for him.
Well, let's take a look at our college football showdown of the week.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery.
Right here in Atlanta today, Auburn, Washington, some national championship implications in this game already. Yay or nay?
Oh, I say yay. I mean, and the reason why, I think the Pac-12 and I think Washington is a team that could win the national championship, and I think they got a great chance. I
That's
like Auburn.
blasphemy coming from an SEC guy.
Hey,
you must be
I'm
seeing
a football, Nikki, what I say? I'm a what? Football guy. Now, Washington, I'm just telling you, Washington's going to come in here. They got a great team. They got a top 5 defense from last year. And, I mean, this team, to me, I think Washington's going to show the world, I believe, that they come here to play.
They're going to show the world that they came a long way to take an L. That's what that is, Nikki. They're going to come a long way to take an L. And I'm a Pac-12 guy.
We'll see.
But this is the best returning quarterback in the SEC, Stidham. And what you have from Auburn is he can control that offense. He has had it for the last couple of years, and he's going to be able to dominate. He's missing Kerryon Johnson, but they got a capable running backs that are going to come in and fill in. I like Auburn.
Save the tape. Steve, save the tape.
Save
We're
it.
going to run this back. I'm telling you.
Well, guys, we said it earlier. Georgia football here to stay. They've left their mark. We've got our dog report coming up next. We'll break it all down for you on football's Play to Win.
At McDonald's, a happy wallet and a happy family can live in harmony. All with a Happy Meal for just $3. 4 Chicken McNuggets made with all white meat, the goodness of milk, and crisp apple slices. All for just $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
It's the final days of Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. The bottom line, Nissan has received more initial quality awards than any other brand. The smartest time to buy an award-winning Nissan is now.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models or save up to $96.62 on select models.
But hurry, the bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Now at McDonald's, get any size soft drink or sweet tea for $1 or small McCafe for $2.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood.
Welcome back. Well, there is a cupcake opener going on in Athens today. My question to you guys, we know that cupcake openers, they are tasty, but are they good for you for the season to start out with a cupcake opener?
Well, I think it's opportunity for young guys to play in a big game with this new red shirt rule. What you have is guys can red shirt, they can play up to 4 games and they won't count against them. So you can get Justin Fields in a cupcake game early, a lot of reps in the second half. So I think it's the time for, hey, put your earlier, cheaper teams early in the schedule. So
Are you saying red shirt Justin Fields?
Yes, sir. You got Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm, good old line.
I don't see it. I don't
Yes,
see it
sir.
happening. I think he's going to be number 2, but
Number 1, he'll play in the second half, okay? Talking about Justin Fields. But I'll tell you this. To me, this is all about Jake Fromm. This team's all about Jake Fromm. The number 2 quarterback's always the most popular guy on the team and with the fans. Jake Fromm is the guy that's going to help them if they're going to win the national championship. Fields, it's good to have a quality backup, but he ain't never been in the fire. He ain't played against Bama. He ain't seen Florida. So my thing is this. Get Fromm ready. Help the young running backs get right. The O-line's going to be one of the most important parts of this team.
Well, Georgia obviously losing some great running backs, but still some of the best running backs in the nation.
No doubt about it. When you talk about losing Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel, you know what? DeAndre Swift is going to be the guy this year. And last year, even with those two other guys, he was making plays and making people take notice. Behind him, Elijah Holyfield, built like his father, literally built like his father, which is frightening. So he's going to be number 2. I know the dude is a freak of nature. But one guy who I was super excited about, I got to mention him even though he's hurt, was Zamir White, because he looked like a stud early on. And then James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, another guy who's going to be there for Georgia. So listen, even losing those two legends, this is going to be a great part of their team again.
And Bob, a little on the O-line.
Well, Andrew Thomas, he got the tough job this year because he's replacing Isaiah Wynn, who's now with the Patriots, but who hurt himself, so now he's going to be on injury reserve. So Andrew Thomas coming over from the right side now to the left tackle spot, he can hold it down. He played very well last year at right tackle. Look for him to be a shutdown left tackle.
Chuck, when it comes to defense, talking about replacing Roquan Smith, is that even possible?
Well, he's one of the greats, and you can't replace the leadership of a guy like Roquan Smith, but I can tell you what you can do, you can have a young guy step up. Tyler Clark, number 52, he's a guy that's going to step up, did really well in the national championship game, but I mean, Georgia's going to have a lot of young guys step up. You got Lorenzo Carter left, Davin Bellamy, so you got some holes to fill. So, but I think these young guys are going to step up, and that's why it's good to have a game, a cupcake, like you said earlier, to get the young bucks rolling.
That's also good to have a defensive-minded head coach.
I like that.
Well, this Thursday night, the last two NFC champions open the NFL season when the Falcons travel to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Can either of these teams make it back to the big game? We'll find out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on Football's Play to Win.
We're expanding our vegetable menu. Looking for a lifestyle change or just trying to eat a little bit better? Well, This Is It is here to serve. Vegetables include fresh broccoli, squash, greens, cabbage, green beans, and so many more vegetables. Every Tuesday is now Healthy Tuesdays. Buy a 4-veggie plate and get a 3-veggie plate absolutely free. That's right, a free vegetable plate. Everybody eat more veggies.
It's the final days of Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. The bottom line, Nissan has received more initial quality awards than any other brand. The smartest time to buy an award-winning Nissan is now.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models or save up to $96.62 on select models.
But hurry, the bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
Today's show is being brought to you by Mellow Mushroom, Atlanta Peach Movers, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by McDonald's.
Welcome back. Now, I can tell by the way you guys have been talking this whole show that I don't think you're worried about anything, but the Atlanta Falcons have looked pretty lackluster in the preseason. Should we be worried, though, honestly?
I'm worried. Chuck's probably not so much. I'm worried just because we haven't seen the Falcons' full roster. We haven't seen Julio Jones with Devontae Freeman, and we haven't seen Steve Sarkisian call a great game yet. But what we have seen is some good play on defense, but we want to see more special teams, more offense. Really, we want to see more.
I have zero concern about the preseason losses.
No one has any concerns about the wide receivers and the drops? Yeah, I mean, Sanu dropped what would have possibly been a touchdown pass. Calvin
Ridley drops, and I think it's because you're missing Julio for a lot of the stuff. So what happens
what
is
does Julio got to do with
I feel
yeah.
that the energy starts from the top. Julio's the energy guy. He brings the energy to the room for the receivers.
So you blaming Julio for Calvin's drop?
I'm saying that Julio's absence, guys are getting in positions, they're playing more snaps than they normally would play, more circumstances to drop passes. And I just think Julio would probably settle everybody down because he's the alpha male in the room. He keeps everybody in line.
Julio's like Gandhi around here, just settling everybody down.
He is the man. Woo-saw, woo-saw.
It was an issue.
Yeah.
It was an issue in some situations last year, but I still think that you're looking at one of the top 3 or 4 receiving cores in all of football, and things will come together. Julio, Sanu, with the addition of Ridley, Justin Hardy, Marvin Hall, Reggie Davis. I mean, I think that these guys are going to show up and do what they need to do on Sundays.
How good can the defense be? Are the Falcons just one tweak away from greatness?
Well, I think the Falcons are in a good position. I think they work hard, and just like all the teams, you know, you really want to see what happens in that first game. But I just think that they've done a great job of drafting, you know, Thomas Dimitroff and, you know, Dan Quinn. So I just think the young guys keep developing. And then we keep saying young guys. I mean, you got guys that are really in their prime, you know what I mean? So I make that same mistake. You got guys that are in their prime. I just think it's ready to, the guys are ready to roll.
The Tari Poe leaving that middle. How's that middle interior defensive line, Chuck? It's just a little not as stout for me.
Well, I think you got a budding star in Grady Jarrett. I think you got Deion Jones in there. I think you got Devondre Campbell. So to me, they make up for what your lack of, I just say muscle in the middle, because you got guys that can move around, that can get to spots, and football is about getting to your spot and making plays. So I think Dontari Poe, he's not here, but I think the Falcons will be fine.
Well, I think that the fans are not fine. If you're following along with this new helmet contact rule, you're screaming at your TV, you're breaking your remotes. What do you guys think about this new rule?
Well, fundamentally, the good coaching staffs and the good programs, they're going over how to tackle. They're going over what they need to do so they can be, so they can adhere to the rule, and not just fundamental football stuff. But I don't like what I've seen with some of the penalties, and I think that they're maybe throwing penalties excessively to try to get guys, acclimated to how they're going to call some of the games on Sunday. So hopefully it calms down.
It's a violent game. I mean, on every play, and I challenge the viewers, you watch the game. It is what it is now. It's a violent game played by a lot of violent folks. So we can keep sugarcoating it all we want. And, you know, you can stop saying what you don't want to say on the commercials. You can stop NFL, stop promoting the big hits. But the bottom line is watch every play in the game. 99.9% of the time, there is some helmet collision for some player on the field.
Right.
And, you know, it's just part of it. And it ain't for everybody. It's not. Football's not for everybody.
Football's not for everybody, Bob. Is it for you?
It's definitely for me, because I'm going to be sitting there with my bowl of popcorn and snacks and all that, because I don't have to hit anybody anymore. So what you have is those guys are learning new techniques, new methods. It's fierce for running backs, and Jamal would know. They drop their head to go into touchdown zone, so they're going to get it better, or their pocket's going to get lighter.
Yeah, I would have been a guy who would have adhered to as best of my ability, but I live to run through people.
Well,
I wanted to be violent.
You wanted to be violent.
Yes.
And there's
I mean, that's real.
And there are a lot of people that think like you, Jamal. And speaking of that, coming up next after the break, we will check in with Dr. El-Amin for our player medical report and go over some of these injuries from these violent players. Stick with us.
At McDonald's, a happy wallet and a happy family can live in harmony. All with a Happy Meal for just $3. 4 Chicken McNuggets made with all white meat, the goodness of milk, and crisp apple slices. All for just $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith. Or this John Smith. Or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Now at McDonald's, get any size soft drink or sweet tea for $1 or small McCafe for $2.
Today's player, medical, and injury report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to Play to Win. I'm here with Dr. El-Amin. We're going to talk some injuries already this early in the season. We've still got some injuries plaguing us around the NFL. Let's start off with Andrew Luck. It's been 2 seasons.
2 seasons. As you know, Andrew Luck underwent a shoulder surgery for his labrum. And it's been almost, like you said, 2 seasons. And he should be back now. But, you know, the fact with the nature of his injury, something's going on. We're not really sure. But, you know, if he gets back this season, he does well, he's going to have a problem throwing that ball long down the field. So can he throw the long ball? That's the real question with him.
There's the recovery from the injury, and then there's
Absolutely.
can you play again, of course. And you've got this fancy knee over here, which means that we've probably got to talk about some ACL injuries.
Absolutely.
Carson Wentz.
Absolutely. As you know, Carson Wentz went down in the playoff game last year, tore his ACL. It takes about 9 months to get back. So, he's not about there yet, but you see they're sort of kind of resting him a little bit in preseason. He looks he's a little staggering here and there. So he gets back. He may not get back and be full until midseason, I would expect.
That almost sounds a little bit better, though, than Darius Geis' first preseason game out for an ACL tear.
His first game, the running back for the Washington Redskins actually tore the ligament. As you know, the ACL is this ligament here, and that's the ligament that actually allows you the knee to basically be stable inside your knee joint. So if you go to turn, that ligament prevents the knee from turning too much and holds it. So you need that for cutting. So he's going to be out the whole season.
9 months, the entire season. I hate to hear that. Let's hope for a speedier recovery. Guys, stay tuned. When we come back, our panel will weigh in on our Week 1 picks. There be some upsets in there. We'll be right back with football's Play to Win.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
It's the final days of Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. The bottom line, Nissan has received more initial quality awards than any other brand. The smartest time to buy an award-winning Nissan is now.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models or save up to $96.62 on select models.
But hurry, the bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
Beef short rib smoked for 6 hours. Brisket smoked for 13 hours. Arby's is never too busy to sit by a smoker. Not because they don't value quality time with their loved ones, but because their loved ones are beef short rib and brisket. Arby's, we have the meats.
And we're back, and it's the moment we have all been waiting for. Jeffrey the Edge Schechter's picks for the week. I'm gonna let the boys take it away. Bob.
Well, what we have here, the Falcons are going up to play Philadelphia, a repeat of last year's playoffs. Philadelphia is favored in that game, but give it to the Falcons. According to Jeffrey, they should go up there and eke out a win.
And then we got Washington. Auburn is favored in that game, but we're going to take Washington. And then Michigan versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored. We're going to pick Michigan for that one. Jeffrey's picking Michigan for that one.
And he is not here for us to argue with him.
All right, now Miami versus LSU. Jeffrey's taking LSU. Then over to Virginia Tech versus Florida State. Take Virginia Tech. And also, take North Gwinnett tonight in the Freedom Bowl, so just want to throw that in there,
Just a nice little extra. A nice little extra. Guys, thanks for hanging with us today. We will be back next week, 9 a.m. Fox 5 Football's Play to Win. Jeffrey the Edge Schechter will be back with us too. We'll see you then.
Today's show has been brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Nissan.